Let's start it up. Another day. And I have noticed how awful my shoes are. The rest of my ensemble works relatively nice, but I mean, other than a tiny patch on my shoulders, these shoes are just terrible. I mean, something must be done. I didn't change my message, I don't think. I did not. I must do so right now. Let's see. How about... Which day is it? 12? 13? It's like day 12 or 13. Day 13. There we go. All right, we fixed it. Sort of, you know. But still, my shoes. Oh. Goodness gracious, they're awful. What's the temperature outside?
Right now, it's 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, expect a high of 80 degrees.
Well, here we are in Oat Barton. And on our toggles. And we need to talk to Ham Gamgee. Nibs and Ham Gamgee. Nibs Chub.
Dear me, please don't leave
Locusts,
yet.
Locust Queen. Find anything amiss. He's got another quest for me, too. Collect
Goodness,
oats.
could you help me with something?
I could. Locusts. Locust Queens. Oats. Very, very hoppity questing. Not quite as hoppity as yesterday. The North Cotton Farms. Good morning still? Yeah, it's morning to whoever has joined me. I hope your Friday is progressing along in an acceptable fashion. Oh, no. The Queen gets a Heartseeker. Oh, devastated for 3,500 damage. Glorious. Defeat harvest flies in the Shire. Technically, I guess I'm still in the Shire. According to the map, Evandale. How does a swarm of locusts block my shot? Dodge? Sure, I'll believe it can dodge it, evade it. But block? That seems like quite a task. I almost have all of Nibs Chubb's oats. I guess he's been out sowing his oats, and I'm now reaping his oats. That's sounding a little bit questionable on the surface of it. Another Locust Queen? Well, I think another Heartseeker then. Alright, the Locust Queen. I don't have the Heartseeker ready for you. Good, sorry. You're gonna have to take some old-fashioned large number of arrows to the thorax. See, now, he evaded. That makes a lot more sense. Oh, I need one more queen and to find something amiss. And if memory serves, the something amiss is like an animal carcass. Killed by wolves. Locust Queen. 3 out of the 4 will be gifted with a Heartseeker. There, I think is the body. I found something amiss in Chubb's field. Don't aggro, no bugs. Thank you. Cash these in. Hi, Nibs.
Oh, mercy
You cleared the
me.
locust? That's well and good. I'm very worried about the wolves you saw prowling my fields. Insects eating the crop are an easy enough matter, but wolves on my land is something else. Well, they're not going to eat your crops. They might eat you.
Gracious me, I need your help.
Whole affair's just like one of the old tales How Gamgee tells. Alright, I'll talk with How Gamgee.
Oh,
And I've got oats,
mercy
too.
me.
I will choose the Aethelus Essence. As Healy's. Healy's good. You like Healy's. I hit 30 and I never opened my gift box. Now I feel the fool. I will open them now. Elite Mark Acquisition. Well, that can get banked. The only way I'm using that is if I'm doing something that's going to be a whole lot of marks, like skirmishes. Alright, Hal. Gamgee. Hi, Hal.
What do you
How
need?
doing? Herds of elk have been coming down. Tried hunting the wolves. A herd of young greensward hind is usually grazing in the old orchard. You should go there for some elk meat. I think that's just a single elk I need to kill, like, say, this one standing right there. I have elk meat. That is a
Just
not
a moment.
particularly challenging quest.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Slay Bonefang. Howl's old hunting bow. I don't think it's going to cut up to Kufaron, my Western S dealing much higher DPS bow. And his knife's not going to cut it either. Maybe the Strange Flowers. Strange Flowers are definitely very good
Please,
for
stay a moment.
a Berg, adding to the stealth level. But I'm not generally speaking a Berg. I'm a Pupinator. So, we'll undoubtedly run into some wolves, and we'll have to work our way through to them. Oh, Spooter. And new deed for Spider Slayer. Spider Slayer. No particular reason to start picking on the spiders just yet. I'll get quests for them soon enough. Yeah, I did get all of my forestry and woodworking done through to mastery, so I have no real need to pick up any more of those maps, at least for now. Wait for the next tier of maps to become available. Those I would need. So I'm going to want to clear out a fair number of these wolves so that I don't get interrupted when Bone Fang makes his appearance. Let's go ahead and drop the trap. Place the bait on the rock, back off a little bit. Light Bone Fang up. Art Seeker. His death cry brought one wolf, but only one additional. And I have successfully completed that quest. I won't be bothering to pick up any more of the yew and stuff because it takes up so much inventory space. We'll wait for the next tier of wood, which we'll run into in parts of Evendem.
Is there something I can do for you?
9 agility or 34 fate. 34 fate is actually a pretty chunky amount. I think we're going to stick with that. It would be worth it if we were Berg, but 4 silver, 3, 2, yeah, we'll grab that one and sell it.
Might I have a word with you?
Talk to Albin Northcotton. No. I already did all the Northcotton stuff. Damn it. Oh, that's the one I actually need. Done. Sending me back up to Northcotton Farm. I did them first. Freaking Hal Gamgee. Yeah, right all the way back. Fine, whatever. The road is
Just
clear.
a moment. What
Oh,
do
well,
you
he's
need?
got a present for me. His bow, I can't imagine it's better. It's almost as good. Holy crap. It's common damage, though, so it's not as good. And grab a spear. Parry and might. Ah, no. Will, no. Warhammer? Parry, might. Dusky Mountaineer Axe, might and vit. How about the knife? The knife's got might, edge, and crit. Doing common damage. Has less edge. That one's doing ancient dwarf damage, which is going to be more than enough to make up the DPS difference, I think. I say I'm not impressed with any of these. I'm just common damage. I'm not common at all. I'm terribly uncommon. Itemization just drives me crazy. Why would you give these things the stats you give them? I don't understand. None of these are going to be as good. That's disappointing. It's genuinely disappointing. Then we'll grab the one that's most expensive. Appears to be the greatsword.
Might I have a word with you?
Next up, dueling. Oh, we also have got tasks we can cash in. Tasks. And I made a wrong turn. I sure did. Yeah, exactly the same thing I did yesterday while trying to exit this. Well, it's true. Sometimes you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I'm not a dog. Technically. Old, but not a dog. I'm definitely old. Well, let's head back down into Oak Barton. I think there's a task board there. Should give rep for the Shire, I think. Madam House. Rep. Yep, there's a task board. Got tasks for this. Lone Lands and North Downs. North Downs. Lone Lands and North Downs. I do not have tasks for this location, it turns out. Lots of task materials, but none for this area. Oop. Well, we'll just have to get some then. Fortunately, I was planning on
Good
murdering
day.
things.
How may I help you?
Sell. Lone Lands or Evandim. Sell. Evandim. Sticky filth. Evandim. I love the filth. Just can't beat the filth. Evandim, North Downs. And we're off for dueling. My goal for the later session today would be finish up and reach level 50, basically get into Moria, probably call it there, leave the actual Moria-ing Saturday. Lots of spooters around. Big ass spiders. I don't know if their asses are actually big, although they tend to have that sort of swollen abdomen, so you could make the statement they're big ass spiders. Also some gobbies. We will be killing some gobbies as well. And later on some evil looking fellas.
Oh, good day.
Good day. Never thought I would lose my home.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Now let me start with him.
Well, the gall of some folk.
I have to agree with him, the gall of some folk.
Could I
Really.
take a moment of your time?
Satchel of glass blowing tools.
Please stay a
Wants to
moment.
find the small lead dog. That's actually quite a distance away.
Might I speak
Corpse
with
of
you
the
a moment?
spider. Yeah. And
Might I speak with you a moment?
White sand, that one is also quite a ways away. We're here, and those are the areas. In that area is where we find the lead dog and the sand. We've got a number of quests to do in this area first. Oh. Try the other way. Yeah, the other way is better for finding the tools, as it's in the top half of the town. But we're gonna have to kill some unpleasant humans. Don't worry, they're jerks. I mean, I wouldn't be killing them if they weren't jerks. Chief's captain. Well, we'll just have to make sure that we really do him up a treat. Well, we murdered a bunch of humans to get him this guy's glass blowing tools back. Never said a word to them. He just took the Hobbit's word for the fact that they were bad guys. I mean, a Hobbit wouldn't lie about something like that, now would he? Not hardly. Hobbits are kind, generous, gentle, truthworthy folk.
Can't a body be left alone? Might I speak with you a moment?
Deed completed. Wanderer of Evendim. Deed bestowed. Pilgrim of Evendim. And that's going to be a nickel. 10 LotRO points. I'm up to 110? 145, really? Wow. Another 150 and I can get 5 more inventory spots. Ensure Perlina Gamgee's home is safe. First, we've got to check on the spider body. Every RPG's got them. Spiders. And generally sewers. A couple of minor pain points. The inventory is a pain point, as we have half as many bags as a VIP player gets, and there's a lot of stuff. So that is a bit of a pain point. And the only other real pain point is you don't have access to as much fast travel between places you've been. So other than that, though, the free-to-play has been pretty smooth. I'm looking for a corpse of a spooter somewhere. Is that outside the actual ring? Yeah, I'm a little surprised. But I will say that the bag space is really painful. It does require you to be pretty aggressive in nuking things out of your bags. Because there's no shortage of, you know, small end stuff that drops. Not junk loot necessarily, but... you know, all of this has dropped in a relatively small number of mobs, like 20 mobs. So that does add up and is a definite pain point, but in general, it works pretty well. I'm surprised at how actually playable it is. I mean, I've been a lifetime subscriber forever, almost since the game launched. And so I was expecting it to be significantly more painful than it has been. So generally speaking, the experience has been positive, and now I'm more informed when someone asks me a question about free-to-play mechanics. And that is another just as the bag space is the biggest pain point, the price of increasing bag space is noteworthily bad. The first thing, because I'd seen enough people talking about it in the past, that you get 95 LotRO points, turbine points, and you buy riding, and that's a huge quality of life thing. Just a huge quality of life gain from getting riding. And I got a mount through one of the festivals. So that was not very painful either. But since then, so I earned 95 points. Now, mind you, I haven't been grinding out points. If you want to grind out points, normally what you do is you do a lot of the Slayer deeds, and you can get a lot of points for those. But I currently have 145. But if I were to go to the account, slots and storage, inventory slots. Oh, 325. I thought it was 395, but 325 LotRO points for 5 slots. Not for another bag, for 5 slots. That's roughly the equivalent of $3 for 5 slots. So, I don't consider the bag space to be reasonably priced. I would say that it's not egregiously bad, but it's pretty solidly bad. Basically, another bag is going to cost you $10. Another 15 slots. Yeah, so that is definitely... I would like to see them drop that down to maybe half that. 150 doesn't seem too bad. Or raise it up to 500 for a full bag. Something like that. I think them micromanaging it down to 5 slots a pop is really not a great look. Especially combined, because that is, like I said, that's the only real significant pain point for me.
How rude! Could I take a moment of your time?
And I can certainly see that being something that might drive a person away, where they're so tired of every time that they go near an NPC, they have to track down a vendor to sell all the extra stuff. Nope. Those... Ooh, very nice. A one-shot use staff recipe. I can't use a staff. But if I could... the black rosin is used for woodworking, so I want to hold on to that. But even something like, inventory space, which is always going to be an issue in any game, that's really the only significant pain point I found, and that's actually pretty impressive. Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. That is a problem for me that I have that they might not. Where the pickup bag, where all of your looted stuff goes, I'm almost always clicking on it and putting it all in my bag. You're right. They typically won't do that. And you don't have to do that. That's a really good point. Most people are not as pathological about it as I am. That's for sure. I say pathological is a nice way of saying bonkers. Yep, that makes sense to me. No, you're absolutely right for pointing that out, and thank you. That is definitely a me thing, not an everyone thing. And given all of the stuff that they have added, that's exactly it, yeah. I might actually have a touch of OCD because, like, when I leave the house, there's a thing I call the masculine self-frisk, where you go, okay, I've got my wallet, I've got my keys, and you pat yourself down to make sure you've got everything you need. I'll stand at the door sometimes and pat my keys 8, 10 times to make sure I've got my keys. And I think more than once or twice, that's getting out on the edge. But no, you're right. Thank you for pointing that out. It is a definite pain point for me. A lot of people might not even notice. Well, they'll notice it's small and that they've got to do, you know, some inventory juggling, but that's not a non... It doesn't turn it into a non-starter for the game as a whole. Come on, spooters. There we go. Just spider things. Oh, that was nasty. It's definitely a vast improvement, the free-to-play implementation, over what it used to be. That's for sure. The previous free-to-play implementation, going back to when they went free-to-play, was god-awful. It was so... when someone would ask, you know, what's the free-to-play like? Implementation like? What's the monetization like? You couldn't even realistically describe it. You go, it's hard to describe. It's got this, and then you've got quest packs and expansions, and you can play this much, and so they simplified it a lot, and that is just a huge win for everybody. And it was really good to do that when they announced all of the stuff to do with the anniversary, which brought a lot of old players back and a lot of new players to the game. Because the old free-to-play was just god-awful. Yeah, and maybe that was the objective, was to make it so unpalatable. But they also made it obscure to the point of people being unable to even figure out what was involved. That's the biggest thing they did. You know, the ability now for a free-to-play account, you can just say, it's free up to level 95, and that's Helm's Deep. That's all people will basically need to understand. Alright, now I need to kill the Black Widow-looking spiders. Oh, there's one. Well, the whole free-to-play implementation of the game, the history of it is a little weird because a wee bit of lag there. Here I am again. See, I'm doing it again. Piles of sticky filth, my favorite. The first sort of big name or relative name Western game to go free to play was DDO, Dungeons & Dragons Online, which was by Turban, same as this game. I don't need wood webs. I need wood web spinners, like that one. And everyone laughed, ha ha ha, free to play. DDO, they're going to lose their shirt, the game's closing down. And it was a big hit. And all of a sudden, everyone's eyes got real wide about free to play. And I knew for a fact, as soon as DDO saw this huge spike in players, I knew that that meant LotRO was going to be going free to play as well. There was no way that wasn't going to happen. And so they announced it, and the implementation was the same unclear mess that we complained about for years thereafter. But they got a huge spike in players. And everyone was celebrating. Turned out, I'm not sure if it's true for DDO or not, but it was certainly true for LotRO, that the spike was kind of illusory and the numbers dropped off pretty quick. And I'm not sure if it turned out in the long run to be worth the change for LotRO, because they had it then. They changed so much of the game system. At the time, I said it'll be fine as long as they don't fall into commerce-driven design, and for quite some time, it did seem that that was what had happened, that they had basically turned the game over to commerce-driven design. Now, all the same, they have continued to crank out content. Generally, the content has been anywhere from okay to good to very good. But still, for a long time, there was a lot of commerce-driven design going on. And that's never good for a game. But with the new company having bought them, well, technically they bought Daybreak Games, who at some point acquired and continued to lie about owning this property. God, it was weird. Why would you lie about it? But they did.
Well, the gall of some folk.
I have killed a bunch of spooters for him.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Hobgoblin's recipe and burned bubbling pots. But hopefully, at least their financial situation has become more clear with the new ownership. God, I mean, and supposedly they're getting more engineers because they canceled their Marvel MMO that they have the rights to put more engineers on, I think, DCUO and LotRO. What that will end up being, I guess time will tell. How big of a change that might be. But in the short term, yeah, the gameplay has never been the game's strong point. It's perfectly fine. Defeat the Chief's Watcher. Is that the guy I just killed? It was the guy I just killed. That's hilarious. I killed him again. You happy now? Yeah, the gameplay is perfectly fine. Some of the new game systems, when they bring them in, are good, and some of them are way less good. And that is a big deal for a lot of players, too. That was a smart change where they added the difficulty setting. Definitely a smart change. But the game's strength has always been in the lore, and I am one who thinks that they have been very respectful of the lore. I know a lot of people have been crapping on them for some of the changes they've made. But it's a game, guys. They've got to make a profit. So sometimes they're going to make changes that are not incredibly, perfectly lore appropriate according to some people. I collected the Hobgoblin's recipe. Now I need to defeat or destroy 3 bubbling pots. Oh, there's a bubbling pot. And a bubbling pot up there. I certainly agree that the landscape difficulty was a very nice and unexpected addition. And again, is something that isn't for everyone, but has brought back players to the game. And anytime you can do that, that's a pure win. Ow, 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 I'm on fire. Well, something like difficulty is always going to be sort of a mixed bag in a game. There are going to be people who want things harder. And there are going to be people who want them less difficult. So it's always kind of a hit or miss proposition. And by adding the difficulty, you add much more of the hit, as it widens the number of people who are going to find something that they're liking. You set me on fire again, you bastards! Alright, there's gotta be... There's a torch out here. Yeah, alright. Kill him. Finish him off. Yeah, certainly the game leveling is way easier than it used to be. I will also note, it is hilariously easy if you're playing a brawler. In my later session in the day, oh crap, I've been playing a brawler, and holy crap! I'm running around in Eregion using my ranged pull attack and one-shotting all of the birds that I aim at when I have to kill Carbine, and if I crit, one-shotting higher level, 3-level higher mobs with my ranged pull attack. It's hilarious. It's also entertaining. It's fun to be ludicrously overpowered sometimes. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I went in. There's a cave in Eregion that has a bunch of elite trolls in it, and the last fight was an elite master troll, 3 levels over me, maybe 4, 3 or 4. He was orange, and also an elite, and I barely beat them. But an elite master, small fellowship quest, 3 or 4 levels over me, and I managed to defeat the whole thing. And it's not because I'm good, it's because Brawler is really strong, at least at low levels. That's up to 48 now.
It's been a foul day, it has.
Just annihilate things. 1 or 2 shot mobs. Going mob to mob to mob to mob as fast as I can close them.
Might I have a word with you?
Retrieve the formal complaint from Ronald Dwale.
Can't a body be left alone?
Hobbits. I almost never get woodworker scrolls, you know? I like woodworker scrolls.
What do you need?
But it's not like I've had any
Nice to meet
difficulty
you,
with this
Mom.
character either. He's level 31. Bon appetit! Enjoy some food. Food. I already had mine and it was none too thrilling. I hope yours is
Hello.
more delicious. Thank you for hanging out and chatting. I always appreciate both. Alright, we've cleared out space for a bit. Ring the bell and deliver the letter. Ah, yes. An instance, if memory serves. But it's one that gives me a title. Well, hello. How is everything Z? Everything Zen? I really think so. Musical reference. Well, that's several mobs. I don't really like several mobs. How's the Friday, Z? Free loot? I am always happy to have a little bit of free loot. This chief's worker going to keep coming? Is he going to lag? Don't know. It is hard to say at this point. He's coming, alright. Going to keep coming? No, he turned around. Careful. The dulcet tones of my voice might put you to sleep. But probably not. Hopefully, I will inspire you to greater heights. Yeah, that's probably not happening either. Oh, there's the doorbell. We need to defeat a couple more dudes. Really? Keep just getting ads. Well, let's take the hunter and give him a heart seeker. Glorious. And some lag. And now we'll ring the bell. We will bang a gong, get it on. It's Will Tuffin. That's not great. I'll deal with you fools later. I have work to do here in Dwaylen. I guess I have to go back and talk to the dude again. I thought that was the instance thing. It's not. Oh, a bunch of mobs just respawned on me as I rode by. How lovely. Okay, they have decided to return to their position. Hob.
Well, the gall of some
Talk to
folk.
Bob Greeneaves. Or Bob or Rob? Bob, I think. No.
An attempt to lodge a formal complaint on behalf of the glassblower Hob Hillbrow led to a violent encounter with the chief's men. The time
Why do I have
has
combat
come
music
to
playing?
put the ruffians in their place.
Oh, this isn't great. I'm going to repeat, not great. This is going to be a little on the dicey side, I think. Well, the trap certainly made all the difference. Paired off most of their health. But there's a boatload more of them. As you can see in the mini-map, it's showing like a dozen. Oh, well, in this particular case, these aren't too bad. These rats. Alright, we got all the diseased rats. Hey, it's the chief's man. The chief will hear about this. Perhaps. But not from you. Oh, he's big. Well, so far I'm managing, although there have been a few dicey seeming moments. I could probably eat something. How about a muffin? You guys know the Muffin Man? Chief's man, he's laying down on the job. Will toughen. I'll deal with you myself. Well, you will. Now you've done it, we'll see what the chief has to say about this. He's run away, he has. And the chief's gonna kill him. Now I'll deal with you. Men, attack. Men? Do we really need men for this? Anyone else? Oh, I can't shoot him yet. Chief's guard. Step in, back out. Nothing. Just not going quite as ideally as I might hope for. I will deal with you myself. Again? Well, I'll Heartseeker you myself. How about that? The complaint has been resolved. And I believe this gets me the Server of Process title. Collected the formal complaint. I will leave the instance and talk to Hob Hillbrow. Hi, Hob.
How rude!
He doesn't even offer a bow. No, he's got a lot of swords. Maybe one of the swords is good. Parry, crit, and might? No. Parry, crit, and will? No. Parry, agility, morale, and power. That one's looking pretty good. Might, vit, will. Edge, might, morale. I think it was the ill-kept bandit sword. Parry, edge, morale, and power. And the Servant of Process title. But I think that sword is good enough to make the proverbial bill. The hammer is Ancient Dwarf, which is always going to be extra damage. 20 agility, 56 morale. 20 agility, less morale, power, a parry chance, but no crit. It's not even more damage. It's not as good as the hammer I made myself. So thanks, Hob. I'll just sell it.
Hello.
Holding on to those. Sell. We've got lots of materials. Any of these not usable here? North Downs. In the North Downs. Evandim. Downs. North Downs. Evandim. Jellied goos. Regular goos I'm not a fan of, but the jellied stuff, really nice. Alright, now we need to talk to the ranger at the Colossus in Evandale. We have a couple quests over here, but frankly, they're not fun. One is running around and grabbing sand, piles of clean sand, and the other is killing mobs until one of them randomly barfs up an item. In either case, I would have to path all the way back here to turn it in. So I won't be doing them. And that's that. We're off to talk to the Rangers. Limmerfin. My memory is that the Limmerfin only used to come out at night. Oh, it is night. It's 4 dawn. That the Limmerfin didn't used to be around except during night hours. So they might vanish in a short while. There's a cool title for killing them, though. Keeper of Mysteries, I think? I wore that for a long time on my Lore Master. But now my Lore Master is one of my 2 characters who carries one of the rarest titles in the game. Fool. It was only available for a few hours on April Fools because it broke the servers. So what it was is, if you're familiar with chicken play, wherein you're polymorphed into a chicken with very low hit points and you have to run some distance for a title and maybe a cloak of the Cluck, for instance. Basically run from the Shire as a chicken, for instance, all the way to Rivendell without dying. Where basically anything that hits you kills you. And that one wasn't too bad until you get to the Trollshaws, having covered almost the entire distance. And there are a bunch of stealth mobs who will appear from stealth and one-shot you. So, and those you wanted to be escorted. But for April Fools, they created something where you could go to the Moors, the PvMP, player versus monster player zone, and they would convert you into a chicken. And to finish it out and get the title of Fool, it started you right near the enemy, the creep area in... Where's it? Where's the Moors? Up here. It would start you up here, the Steps of Graham, where all the creep players would be. All the players playing orcs and wargs and stuff. And you'd have to, in chicken form, cross the entire map to get to the friendly area without getting killed. And if you made it all the way, you would get the Fool title. But what happened is, once the creeps, the monster players, realized that there were a whole bunch of, one-hit point chickens running around, they stormed into the moors, murdering everybody. And once everyone realized that the moors was full of creeps trying to kill chickens, a whole bunch of the free players, the freeps, regular players, there were no free players. The freeps and the creeps is the standard nickname for the good guys and bad guys in player versus monster player. So, once the freeps realized that the creeps were out in huge numbers, the freeps came out in huge numbers, causing vast PvP battles and crashing the server. They had to turn off the quest because it literally broke the game. The players swarmed into the PvMP zones, the PvMP map, and broke the game. So the title of Fool was only available for a few hours. I got it on 2 of my characters.
How can I be of service?
I have made it to the Colossus. Who do I have to talk to?
What do you need?
I am very close to level 32.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Bundles of rope, pieces of driftwood, small flywheels, and oil pouches. Right.
Would you do something for me?
Search the rubble near the ancient lighthouse. Sure, I can do that.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Discover the entranceways, and that sounds smutty as hell. Danger among the
Stay a
dunes.
moment.
Sand lurkers.
Would you
And hiding
do something
underfoot,
for me?
flip over rocks, and defeat crawlers. And, of course, that's 5, and it needs to be 6.
Could I speak with
So
you a
that they
moment?
won't all fit. Yeah. We know we're going to be beating a whole buttload of those, so we will do that. We'll go over here. Dim. The entrances, and we'll lock all these in place. And that way they won't mess with me. Ha 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 ha. There we go. And we mount up, and now we're... that reminds me, is there... It doesn't look like there is a task board here. You guys got no task board? Dudes. Seriously. The only title I know of that's rarer is there were a couple of titles that were available through no, I don't have quotes for them. Through developers would do stuff in game and could give out titles. So, for instance, among the things they might do, they used to run fashion shows on servers. And they'd give, I think the title was the fashionable and the unfashionable to people who were either particularly well-dressed or particularly badly dressed. And as far as I know, they haven't done one of those in forever. So those, I think, are the only quests I'm aware of that are rarer than the Fool title. Sorry, the only title rarer than the Fool title that I'm aware of. But there's probably a couple somewhere that I'm missing. I know one of my guildies is bitter that she never got the fashionable. I think back in the day, one of our other guildies, who hasn't been on in years and years and years, might have gotten the unfashionable ones. But those are all very, very rare titles to get. I do run the Fool title on the 2 characters I have who earned it. And we need one more Sand Lurker. Yoo-hoo! Sand Lurker, buddy. We remove that. Pardon me, noisily smacking my lips. Memory serves, the rocks we have to turn over are over here, and they all have crawlers. Despite the fact there's crawlers everywhere, these crawlers aren't good enough. We've got to kill the ones that are under the rocks. Why? MMO quests, guys. MMO quests. Who's to understand why whys and wherefores. We turn over the rock. Oh, look. A burrowing silt crawler. And I've killed a crawler. It seems cruel, even arbitrary. I mean, these things are just sitting there under their rock. I'm not even killing the ones that are just right by me. No, I've got to kill the ones that are under the rock. It's a cruel world we live in. A cruel and arbitrary universe. Where some titan can simply throw over your rock and fill you with arrows. It's just cosmically unfair. Comfortable, sitting under your rock, curled up, tired from a day's crawling, burrowing. Some oversized, two-legged critter flips over your house and murders you. It's kind of sad. I can remove that and remove that. But I only found one oil thing. I think I need like 2 more. Oh, sorry, creeping sand lurker. You're standing near a small flywheel. You were standing near a small flywheel that I needed, so that's a perforation for you. I am the tool of cosmic injustice, bringing terrible, terrible things. He is a rare sig, so he should drop loot. He's a level 33, but I should be able to air him out relatively easily. Drop that. We're not even going to wait for our Heartseeker to be up. And that's why. We're just too dangerous. And that's a Kurgan Slayer, and one thing that this looting system, which I like a great deal, the pending loot system, does not deal with at all well, it turns out. Sorry, I'm angry. Really doesn't deal well with is multiple dynamic quest drops. I will now make my standard complaint about limits to the quest log. This is not a free-to-play limitation. This is a old-school MMO limitation that I really, genuinely, deeply wish they would launch into deep space. Is the number of quests you can have in your quest log. In a game like this, that's based so much on story and lore and narrative, to not to be forced to remove quests simply because you never got around to them is, to my mind, not a good look, let's say. And those sort of things, you know, there should be no limit on quests. And despite the fact that they said at the time, and have others have said, oh, it's a data structure limitation. Yeah, no. Actual computer science degree here, and yeah, no. It's a bullshit excuse. Otherwise, they wouldn't give you more of them as you leveled up and did deeds. Which they do. They increase the number you can have dynamically. And any sane data structure would be able to handle it. But even in an old school game like this, I call bullshit on that. And this creeping sand lurkers in my way. It's not. But soon we'll be crossing the river and airing out a whole bunch of bandits. Flywheels, driftwood. Pardon me. Driftwood. Second or third pouch of oil. By the way, I'm not sure pouches is the right storage material for oil. It seems particularly not environmentally friendly. There's the last of the rope, I think. No, I need lots more rope. Lope. I need lots more lope. I actually said that. But that is the last of the driftwood. And the last of the oil. I think the rope is on the northern shore. You will swim across, and grab the rope, and then we'll start murdering bandits. Now entering Parth Adwial. And a bar guest. Which doesn't mean that I'm going to be buying him drinks. He's 3 levels higher than me. Looking for rope. There's some rope. Approximately a bundle. Bar guest and bat. Like peanut butter and jelly. Just an incredible combo. I need 2 more bundles of rope. We're heading over to the bandits. I'll be killing a lot of bandits. I have to kill like 12, and I also have to get to the 5 entranceways, I think. Yeah. I have defeated bandits at Barad Tharsir. There is the first entryway. But we're going to kill a lot of them. That is level 32. Bum, ba, ba, dun. New skirmish available. Don't. Enmity of the Orcs 2. Wait, Enmity of the Orcs 2? Oh, I guess it opened up for availability. All right. Thank you very much. Doubt I can make it to 33 today, but I'll get close. We haven't even reached the second entrance yet. Oh, I got something for that. I got the guide debris. Nice, nice. I approve of that. I'm just mowing them down. I do need to move the degree off the hot bars over yonder. That's a nice one to have. Although to a degree, being able to get to any one of the starting towns will allow you to get to the others really fast. So. Is this the second entrance? Did I not have to come up here at all? Probably. No, maybe that door is. Second entrance? Hey, I did have to come here. That's two entrances. This is... No, that's the third. Where the hell's the second? Might be back where... Back here, to the right. I just didn't go in far enough. Ah, okay, that's the second. Good. There was much rejoicing, right? Ainsley Atwood. I'll have to come back and re-kill him later. As you can tell, there's an awful lot of bandits around here, hence my note that I was going to be killing a whole lot of bandits. Is this the fourth? That's the fourth, and the fifth is outside. And we'll be coming back here a number of times for more tomb robber killing hijinks. But personally, if I was a tomb robber, I don't think I would really appreciate it being called hijinks. Being, you know, murdered en masse by some sociopathic elf. Sorry, Ogden Oates. Let me kill you for the first time. That is the 5. So we now should have all of those ready to turn in. Preparing the catapult. I need 2 more bundles of rope. Glad I checked. There's some more oil. There's, I think, a bundle of rope. I thought. Maybe I missed it. No, I thought there was a bundle of rope there. I thought wrong. Beg forgiveness. Up there. Bundle of rope. Maybe no. Not a bundle of rope. Where's the bundle of rope? Bundles. I need 2 more. There's a supply chest over here, and I'm not too proud to steal from thieves. Free money is free money. And you can quote me. Not sure why you want to, but if you want to, sure. Knock yourself out. Maybe I missed 1 or 2 on the yonder side. I'm not going to get past this one without shooting them, so... If I must, I must. And evidently I must. That is rope. Alright, we need 1 more bundle of rope. Note to self, hey self. Try to remember to reset your milestone. Will he remember? Spoiler. No. There appears to be one more bundle of rope somewhere over here that I missed, having been put off by the nearness of bar guests. Figures. Just figures. Go around this bar guest. There's an Oathbreaker Archer. Yeah, let's mess with the undead. Sure, why not? And there's the last bundle of rope. And I just realized I was leaning. I don't know if I can get up that slope over there. I should be able to ride over to there, so this will be faster, I think. At least if I can avoid the bar guests and undead. Little creeps. Pardon me. When I get there, I shall fetch myself another soft beverage. And we're back. We'll do our cash in a sec, but first, the aforementioned beverage. Is there not a... Oh, there is a... I remembered, guys. Now we'll see if I can remember to push the AFK button a second time. Forget to turn it off often enough that if I were a viewer, I would suspect that I did it intentionally. But no, in point of fact, I don't. Okay, we're back. We'll cash in some quests.
What do you need?
You were able to find a page? I was worried they would have all been lost to time. Like the lighthouse itself. Now let's see what we can learn from this.
Might I take a moment of your
Wants me
time?
to collect containers. The waters. Ah, that's in the river, I think. Sell stuff.
Hello, friend. Can I help you with something?
Quiet down there. My tummy made a noise. Let us put that up. Dwarf steel gauntlets. I can't wear them. Javelin. Can't use it. Miss another one. Where is it? There it is. Jellied ghouls. We didn't get any more jellied ghouls, though. That's disappointing. You just can't get enough jellied ghouls, you know. Ghouls. Goos. Not ghouls. Goos. Ring. There, that there, and... Completed quest entrances of Barad Tharsir. Well, I should be completing that in just a second. I can turn those in.
How can I be of service?
Rep. So, a storeroom, a dining hall, barracks, an armory. And one room that was unmarked, either intentionally or lost to time. Interesting.
Could I speak with you a moment?
And now I can use those rep items. Collect a sword, a shield, and a vase. I do remember where those are. 720 rep. Woo. You must be really impressed. A pile of
How can I
soggy
be of
weeds.
service?
Yeah, he's actually going to give me reward for a pile of soggy weeds. Why I thought to bring them back, I have no idea.
Stay a moment.
Collect piles of soggy weeds from sand lurkers. He wants more of them.
What can I do for you?
Defeated sand lurkers of Barandov, and now he wants me to go back and kill more. For more of the soggy weeds.
How can I be of
Underfoot.
service?
Thank you. And Jewels of
Greetings.
Crawlers.
Might I take a moment of
And
your
now he
time?
wants me to get kill more crawlers, but these not this time the ones under the rocks, the ones just crawling around.
How can I be of service?
Driven off several of the contingent, pleased to hear it. No, the robbers have less of a hold on Brad Tharsier than they once did. You have my thanks, but do not rest yet. We've just begun to press those wounds back.
Could I speak with you a moment?
He needs me to kill the two named dudes over there. You know, the two named dudes that I said I was going to have to kill? Yeah, them. But I'm going to take a short time to ride, like the wind, to Tinadir, where I should have access to an actual freaking task board, and I'll be able to ride back. But I'll take a couple minutes to head over there, cash in some tasks. As that is the main hub. Requesting in Everswim. If you're not familiar with the nickname Everswim, we've got a big lake in the middle, and although they've changed it now, so it's actually boat travel. I don't think that used to exist. From certain places to certain other places, you used to have to spend a boatload of time swimming back and forth. In some cases, literally swim to one side, finish a quest, swim back, get the next quest, swim back the other way, and so on. It was delightful. It was a thing that had to be done. Also, back in those days, a lot of people would spend time on the western side of Evendim because you could get dwarf iron there, and dwarf iron used to be very, very valuable indeed because it was used in multiple tiers of crafting. Unlike most materials, which are only used in one tier, this was used in the tier 4 materials and the tier 5 materials. There was always a shortage of dwarf iron, which meant it always had a use, and it always had value on the auction house.
Greetings.
Gratings. Gratings? Like Parmesan cheese gratings? Parm's delicious. Let's hold on to the broken short bows if possible. We have 50 of those, and that's good for a whole day. Of course, we're going to go through some of them. Piles of sticky filth. They don't need piles of sticky filth. This is one of the things I do find irksome. It says can be used in Evendim. No, this is it's a new alt. I created an alt account just to play as free-to-play, to find out what the game was like, so that I could answer questions a little bit more intelligently. I am a long-time player, almost since launch. But I find this really annoying. Piles of sticky filth, but I can't turn them in here. They're used in somewhere in Evendim, but I have no idea where. Yeah, I've gotten enough questions while streaming the game from people asking about free-to-play, and a lot of times my answer was, I think it's like this, but I'm not sure. Well, I'm finding out. Heavy sword sheaths. Yay! They want heavy sword sheaths. Heavy carapaces. Want heavy carapaces. And I guess we're going to use some broken short bows too. Oh, looks like we can turn off that. Oh, we're here to cash those in. Where are we cashing those in again? Exactly. So these are task items. They're regularly produced. They'll tell you if they have a use where you can turn them in. You find the task board, which will look like a feather on the mini-map, or the map. You click on them, and if they match up, you turn them in, or you get the quest there and turn them in to this guy in this location. It's the amount of experience you get is relatively low, but they are useful for reputation. They're good for about 300 rep each. So
Greetings.
300 rep and a small amount of XP, not a bunch. 716. So they are useful
Greetings.
mostly for the rep.
What
Other
can I
than
do
that,
for you?
selling them is exactly the right answer. If you're not interested in rep, or you already have the rep, or you're short on money, sell them. Another broken short bows and heavy sword sheaths. Is having to juggle them. You know, oh, I'm out of this map, and now I'm going to take all of these materials I've been holding onto, and I'm not on that map anymore. I'll just sell them. And then there's the cases like this where it says they can turn them in Evendim, but you can't turn them in at Evendim at this location, and that's kind of annoying. So, for a lot of... I think you can make a really good case to just sell them, especially as a free-to-play player, because inventory space is so limited. Is painfully limited. That's the biggest pain point for me in the game, in free-to-play.
What do you need?
Is that the inventory is half of what you start with on a full pay account. Where are we going? High King's Crossing? I assume that's High King's Crossing. It is. And
What do you need?
I'm going to pay for the comfortable ride back. If I myself am a lifetime sub on my main account, and that the difference between a permanent VIP sub and the free to play sub is so substantial that I really had no idea what it was like in a lot of ways, and that's what sort of prompted me to do this playthrough. So I can't answer all the free to play player questions, but I can answer them a lot more intelligently. I think if you dropped the money, you must be enjoying yourself, so that's awesome. If to anyone who is not played the game, if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, especially the books, but also the movie, I will recommend that you would probably like the game, or at least not find the time wasted, even if you don't like the game. It's the same way I feel about if you're a Star Wars fan, you should try Star Wars The Old Republic, and if you're a Star Trek fan, you should try Star Trek Online. I am on Landraval, and I only have one character at the cap, 140, and that's a minstrel. I'm a minstrel who basically has never healed anybody but themselves. So a minstrel who sings at his enemies. He shouts at them a lot. There have been times in the game's lifespan where minstrels were hilariously overpowered as DPS class. In Rohan, with the riding battle steeds, at one point, I could gather together 3 +3 level mobs and one-shot all 3. When, for most classes, had no shot at one-shotting 1, let alone 3. It's always nice to be just the smallest bit, okay, way overpowered. It's fun. Alright, I need to kill more lurkers. I need to grab those. Grab the containers. And jewels for crawlers. Catapult can go first. The robbers. Yeah, I can move that, I think. There we go. Alright, first thing is the catapult. And I think for that we've got to go this way. But certainly for leveling the minstrel, unless you're doing a lot of group play, you probably want to be, I would think you would want to be in the red line just to kill things faster. Yeah, I'm not doing a completionist. Doing a completionist run right now is tougher simply because leveling is a lot easier than it used to be. And I would expect a lot of people, and I would be one of them, would find hilariously over-leveling content to be kind of boring. If I were going to do a completionist run, I would do it on Treebeard, which is a VIP server with slower experience points. Simply because, in that case, you're not going to be doing as many, anyway, lower level quests. When you basically get nothing for them, no XP. And that's one of the nice things when they added the 2 servers for Shadowfax and Treebeard. Although, evidently, Shadowfax has not been particularly successful for them. Treebeard has been a huge success. I'm hopeful. I know a lot of people have been crapping on it for obvious stuff. Ooh, a black elf! Yeah, I know, it's not lore. Fine. They're making a TV show. Yeah, I've got friends on Arkenstone. All of my old Australian and New Zealander guildies are on Arky. So I'm hopeful for the show. I think I don't know if I'm in the minority of enthusiasts, Tolkien enthusiasts, who are hopeful for the show, but for me, I am. But I also realize that it's a show, and they're going to make changes to things that I'm not going to like. And I'm going to judge them on their own merit or lack thereof. Well, the character models are old and show it. I would say that the landscapes are fine, and the architectural stuff, in some cases, is spectacular. If you've seen Minas Tirith, that is, to my mind, the best piece of in-game architecture I've ever seen. So I don't think that's as important. The character models could be a big win, as for a lot of people I know, it's a turn-off. The current state of the character models. I'm not sure. The quest, I think the festival is done now, but the festival was open, so you could have gotten to Minas Tirith through the festival. And in fact, you may still be able to do, I think, the wedding stuff outside of festival. I'm not sure. But the festival just ended, and the festival was in Minas Tirith. But the architecture for Minas Tirith is amazing. And the visuals for Minas Morgul, also amazing. I will try to no spoiler you. The first one that really blew me away, though, was Helm's Deep. Their layout of Helm's Deep was exactly the way I thought it should look. And then Minas Tirith knocked my proverbial socks off. All right, here's the parts for your catapult, sir. Ooh, my first dwarf iron deposit. Mind you, I can't do anything with it, but it's the first I've seen. More. Where's the wood? Why not the next tier of wood? Why don't you give me that?
What can I do for you?
Ha! I'd heard that someone was coming to help me, but I did not know you would have everything with you as well. This is a very fortunate event.
Might I take a moment of
I have to
your time?
defeat 4 scouts. Well, I can do that. Salamanders. He doesn't want salamanders. He wants scouts. 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 That's another salamander. Come on, man. Oh, there's a scout. Past the fly swarm. I bought Gundabad, just the regular version. I don't remember what was in it. Was there a chest for Gundabad? Okay, the way I understand it is as long as you're subscribing, you don't have to pay for any content except for Gundabad. So beyond that, probably the most important thing, I would think, will be space of various kinds. You can add 6 more, I think, rows of 5 items. That's for 325 each of the LotRO points. So you can get more inventory. You can spend gold, in-game gold, to get more storage for the bank and the shared storage and the wardrobe. If you're a fashion player, as I certainly am, you'll want the wardrobe, but you'll want the other stuff regardless. You'll want the shared storage, especially if you're going to be playing alts, and you'll want the bank storage. Storage is a big deal for the player base, because a lot of us, raise his hand, we play a lot of alts, and we're hoarders by nature. So storage always. A lot of it can be bought with in-game gold, though. So you should earn plenty of in-game gold. You won't have a problem in opening up bank spaces and wardrobe spaces and shared storage spaces. Eventually, though, you can't get any more for gold. You have to get it for LotRO points. Reputation changed. Not a Stelden. Wardens of Anuminous. I am an acquaintance. Dude bestowed. Dude completed. Title awarded. Known to the wardens. And another nickel. Beyond the storage stuff, the only other thing I would have to really say about it is to hold on to it until you find something you like. For instance, the Gifts of the Valar are very tempting, but they're very expensive. Bring the weeds to Hertherdeer. Guess I got enough of the weeds. Okay, I got that. Talk to Serdan. Okay, we can do that. The Robbers of Barad Tharcir. We got those 2 done. We can move these. We're not going to do these. They're gumming up the visual, man. Okay. I would keep an eye on any sales that are ongoing. They usually have a lot of things put on sale. I know a lot of people were buying. There was an amount for like 600 that was unlocking it for the whole account. Account unlocks are better than single character unlocks, obviously. But for me, I think the only things that I consider to be anywhere in the vicinity of mandatory is more storage. But again, that's very much a me thing, not necessarily a you thing. Although it is true for a lot of other players as well. Almost universal amongst my guildies, my kinmates. Hoarding is real. Another sticky filth. You know, I just can't get enough filth. I don't want to speak for anyone else, but I'm mostly in this game for the filth. I mean, he's going to have a piece of jewelry in him, and that's going to the ranger. But for me, he might have filth. A little bit of lag here. Crawlers everywhere. Technically, fewer crawlers everywhere, as I'm murdering them as quick as I can. I need 2 more. 1 more piece of jewelry will do. Containers, that's in the water. I need to swim, I think, to find all the containers. I think those are a little bit further north. They are. They're around here by the sunken boat. Oh, yes. I play, or have played, pretty much every major MMO, and particularly among the Western MMOs. And in some cases played vast amounts. I'm not sure. I need to, at some point I need to log on to my main account in LotRO and just go from character to character to character and add up the /playeds. My guess is somewhere around 4,000 hours in LotRO. I'm at about almost 4,000 hours in Guild Wars 2. I have no idea how much in, say, WoW, but a lot in there as well. So yeah, I'm an inveterate MMO player. I know a thing or two about a thing or two. In some cases, I've played games that I had no real desire to play because I wanted to have a at least somewhat informed opinion about them. I tend to be an opinionated guy. When people ask, I will give my opinion. And I want to not to spout complete nonsense. I am less likely to want to try that, however, with a pay-to-play game, I have to say. I'm not sure how many times I have done that on a pay-to-play, but I'm more than happy to try out a free-to-play game and see what I think. Now, if memory serves, there's a shield over here. Oh, look, a broken shield. I'll also stream a lot of different games. I've been playing an awful lot of LotRO since the anniversary patch came out, or anniversary and goodies and whatnot. But I would not consider myself a LotRO streamer, even though I've been doing it. This bleed is really unpleasant. 200, yeah. 200 damage every 2 seconds, 15 ticks. That is an enormous amount of damage, really. My blueberry muffins ran out. Let this be a lesson to you, kids. Always make sure that your muffin's still working. I thought it might be here. Guess not. I know another one of them is up here at the top. A scruffy tomb robber. And they've dropped a bleed on me too. I tell you, my brawler having a condition cleanse is just such a nice thing to have. Not having the condition cleanse. I have a poison cleanse, but that's it. It doesn't just remove poison anymore. It removes disease, wound, fear, and poison. I didn't realize that. Holy crap, all this time. I have bled so much without realizing they changed it into a full Condi cleanse. Now I feel like a dope. Okay, more like a dope. I feel like a dope plus. Is it up here? Time-worn vase, I remembered. So we've now established that I am a full-on dopey head. And the sword, I think, is over there. We'll let him path away. Oh, I think I need... Do I need Ainsley? Yeah, I do need Ainsley's. This is, a little tight. Alright, we'll get Ainsley on his next path then. I think the sword's over here. Yeah, it is. I remembered. Alright, we need Atwoods. Where'd he go? Ainsley! You're never around when I need to perforate you full of arrows. There's Ainsley. Oh, I got his orders. I did it magically by shooting him with a bazooka from far, far away. But he deserved it, you know. Now we need Oaks as orders. And we've got a bunch more turn-ins. There is little in an MMO more satisfying than a whole bunch of turn-ins all at once. Alright, where's Oaks? Is he coming around over there? He is. And Heartseeker for him. We got his orders too by Bazooka. Oh, got a friend. Well, I guess he's not my friend anymore. we ride? Or do we? I don't think we even bother to ride. I think we just go ahead and DF. That's Desperate Flight. And it should take... It didn't take me where I was expecting it to take me. Alright. We'll use our other travel because we're going to be calling it after we do these turn-ins. For about, 3.5, 4 hours. We'll be back. Adding to the noise on the internet.
Greetings. Stay a moment.
Climb the peak of the Colossus. I'll do that in a sec, too.
What do you need? Would you do something for me?
Defeat the creature beneath the lighthouse. Okay.
What do you need?
XP.
Stay a
Search
moment.
within the storeroom. Okay. Oh, that's not a good one. But I can wait for tomorrow. Jewels of Evendam.
Greetings.
Oh, look at this. Just
What do
turning
you
after
need?
turning after turning. It's wonderful. It's glorious.
What can I do for you?
Pure MMO pleasure.
Might I take a
Search
moment
the
of your
ruins.
time?
Well, we will go up. Completed the Robbers of Barad Tharsir. We'll have a look around. Go back down. Talk to Sardan. Where'd he go? Sardan. There he is.
Greetings.
Greetings. I can't use shields. Why are you give me shields? We almost made it to 33. I will sell
Hello, friend.
junk.
Can I help you with something?
Elven padded shoes. Will and Vit. That is good. Elven leather gloves of vigor. Adge Vit. Those are better than what I'm using. I will hold on to those. Shining quilted Will and Vit. But hilariously, more Vit than what I've got. Slightly more armor than what I've got. The other's got Physmit versus power. How does it look? That's not a look. That's not a look for me. I'm sorry, I have to draw the line somewhere. That's just not for me. I'll hold on to that. We can lose the jellied goose, I think. We don't seem to be getting any more of those. I've got more scrolls. Crafting scrolls. In this case, including a woodworker one. A heavy U Great Club of Tactics. Why of tactics? It has no tactical buff or anything. I don't understand. I'm confused. I am frequently confused. Some would say perpetually confused. They're not wrong. Throw that away. Cannot do that because I'm in the interface right now. I can throw it away. Thank you. And consume another 23 Tomb Raider sashes for 690. That's 69 times 10. 69. Ha ha ha. Sorry. I'm on the internet. I have to point that out and make jokes about it. Minstrel hands are probably glowing because you have you're in war stance. Basically, there's 2 or 3 stances you can be in, which are related to the trait lines, I think. Blue, red, and yellow trait lines. So there's war stance, which is DPS stance. That's the first one you get. I think there's a healing stance, and I think there's a buffing stance. But there's definitely at least 2. There's a DPS stance and either 1 or 2 healing / buffing stances. So that is why they're always glowing. That is, as you can see, I here have a stance too. I have 3 stances. I have strength stance, precision stance, and endurance stance, and those are related to the 3 trait lines. These are good in that these are stance. Your stance choice is static until you change it. If you log out, it doesn't turn off. These other things that I have here that are toggled on they toggle off when I log out. But I am going to call it an afternoon's work here. I will be back in about 3.75 hours, maybe 3.5, for the late session. I'll be playing more Lord of the Rings Online. I'll be playing on my main account, my bruiser, trying to push and hit 50 today, and probably step into Moria, and then probably start playing Moria tomorrow. I'll probably be back again tomorrow for an early session starting between 11 a.m. and noon, my time, Pacific time. Thank you very, very much for the follow, Whitefinch. You get the spiel. I only have one. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and sometimes complete, total, utter unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow. So, back tomorrow between 11 and noon Pacific, that's 2 to 3 Eastern, and back later today at about 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for more LotRO. I hope you had some fun today. I'm still enjoying, even with the difficulties in the amount of storage I get, I'm still enjoying even the free-to-play play. So, I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully you guys will see me soon. Have a great rest of your Friday evening, and what the hell, I'll be generous. Have a nice weekend, too. I'll catch you next time. Take care, and ciao for now. Bye, guys.